We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message, titled Exalted Womanhood Part 11 of 20, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 13th, 2024.
So take good care of yourself. In your house, it's safe, so you don't have to wear it. But when you go out, especially on windy days, it's no harm to wear a mask. Especially nowadays, we have so many new sicknesses coming. Do not think. I love to tell you all this for fun. No. Because whatever I tell you to do, I will have to take the karma for that, or share the karma from you for that. So please, take good care of yourself. Then I will feel that at least my sacrifice is worth it. It helps you, okay? Even if I know so many of you don't listen, but I can't help it. I just see the vision of suffering. I just have to tell. So please take care, okay? Take care of yourself as much as you can. Truly, the wind does carry something bad. I think maybe scientifically it's also proven, or it says that. You can check on the internet, but I'm not wrong. Even if I don't have evidence or research, I'm sure it's like that. It's logical. The wind blows anything, anywhere. And viruses, the bacteria and all that, they're everywhere, you know. And if a strong wind blows into your nose, then your nose cannot filter it enough. And to your mouth, it goes direct and it will damage your body or make you sick, okay?
One of the safest steps we can take is to wear a mask to keep ourselves protected. Every time someone talks, sings, sneezes, or even breathes, microscopic droplets containing deadly viruses are released. These droplets may be so tiny that you can't even see them. And what's more, the droplets don't have to land on a person to infect them. Wearing a mask acts as a shield, stopping the droplets from spreading in the air and prevents outside droplets from coming to you. The masks stops the droplets from landing on other surfaces or people and infecting others too. The risk of infection decreases with each precaution people take. If no one is wearing a mask, the risk of infection is the highest. This risk reduces considerably when more and more people put on their masks. Your mask is the first line of defense against respiratory viruses. When you wear your mask properly, covering your face and nose and making sure there's no gap between the mask and your face, you protect yourself from the virus and stop it from getting to your loved ones or those who might be at risk.
I remember in Munich, München, in Germany, there's sometimes a special wind that blows into the Munich area. Then many people will become crazy, doing bad things, even murdering. So at that time of a certain wind like that, there is leniency from the government on the punishment or penalty for that criminal. So actually it's provable, like that in Munich. I'm not sure if you can find it, but it's kind of well known in Germany. I was in Munich for quite some years. Yeah. Maybe you can still do research about that, about Munich and that special wind that makes people go crazy and lose themselves, lose their reason and do bad things that they normally would not do. And the government gives very less than penalty, less than usual. Okay, so please take care of yourself. when there's a lot of wind, at least wear a mask. Put the mask or some masks in your pocket, in your handbag all the time. So whenever you need it, you wear it. Okay? So when you also go in a public toilet, you wear it, because when people flush the toilet, the little, very fine particles of water, droplets, would fly all over in the air, and you can't wait too long for that to die down in order to go in, because you might be in a queue, for example, like in the airport. Then you just wear the mask, okay? And when you go out, wipe your face with some disinfectant or soap, yeah? Wash your face with soap. Do something to protect yourself, okay? You are the only one that loves yourself the most and are the best protector of yourself. So do something, yeah? Okay, please. And I am sorry if I have caused any offense while I'm talking, but it's all done with my sincere heart for your own good. May God bless us all. Amen. May the Buddha lift us all to enlightenment and liberation. Under God's grace, amen. So the more you practice with sincerity, the better. And the people out there who are not my God's disciples, please U-turn, please be vegan, please repent, please pray to God, pray to all the saints and sages to protect you, to help you, to liberate you, at least not to go to hell. I help as much as I can. As I told you, if you sincerely repent to God, praise God, and be vegan to save animal people suffering, then even if you call my name once with all your pure heart, I will come for you at the time when you leave this world. I promise you that. Heavens and earth know that I tell you the truth. What for do I tell you this? You give me nothing. I take nothing from you. I don't even see you that you come and prostrate to me or anything. I don't let anybody prostrate to me. And all my God's disciples know that. I don't need any fame. I don't need any physical offering, nothing. I never take anything from any of my disciples. So you lose nothing. Just remember me at your time of death or in your time of trouble, with all your heart, okay, with all your sincerity, and repent. Praise God. Pray to God to protect, to let you remember Him, to let saints and sages help you to go home. Because this world is not your real home. It changes all the time. It can be damaged. It can be destroyed. It can disappear also. Like one of the Venuses or Mars become unbearable, uninhabitable as well. Please, whatever I told you all this time is all truth. The reason God told me I have to reveal my identity as Maitreya Buddha and Jesus Christ returned. It's the same. Both are the same being, one being. It's because I have to declare it to the whole universe so that all the kings and heavens will return and help me again. Otherwise, they will leave me alone. And many of you who have affinity with heavens, different kings, different heavens, cannot be helped. If they left, my side, if they left my mission, I have to reclaim all the power that belongs to the Maitreya Buddha in order to help the world. Otherwise, I don't need anything, not even that power. I am good enough to go to heaven. I do no harm. I'm always with heavens and God. I don't need extra power, but I do need that in order to save you, more of you, or could also save the whole planet, to restore it again to a habitable, happy place. So all of you and all of your children and great-great-great-grandchildren can enjoy. Just like, for example, President Trump. He's a, rich man, multi-billionaire. He doesn't need to be president, risking his life, to run for election like that. Even after the election, there was another attempt on his life reported. It was officially reported by the Justice Department. And now the Secret Service have, even robot dogs running around his house to protect him. I just hope heavens also give more protection. I do what I can, of course, also. But before the election, I already wrote a note to warn him.
Master's message for President Trump. There will be other attempts on your life, before and after election. Please wear protective gear when in public, always. Please buy and use personal silver cutlery, always. If they turned black color after dipped in food, do not eat that food. It's poisoned. Take care of yourself for the world. Thank God all the time for God love, bless, protect.
I don't know how to send it to him. I don't know how many people will censor my writing, so I didn't write. I told him as a note on our Supreme Master television, I told him that he has to wear protective clothes, and also don't eat poison food, using silver utensils to detect poison. But that's just the minimum, basic. There are some poisons maybe one can't detect nowadays. The world is so low that we have all kinds of poisons, all kinds of toxic things, even in the air, by our own lifestyle. So it's just for his love for Americans, for the world, that I warn him about some things only. I just hope he becomes more aware of the precious life that he has. And just to remember more to thank God to protect him. I just feel much better after he became elected. So I don't have to worry or meditate anymore for it or pray for him or do all kinds of things related to that matter. Invisibly, of course. Heaven protectors also are working with me, of course. And now, I'm just saying, for President Trump, I'm sure his heart is not for fame or gain. I'm sure. I can assure you that. I can see through. He just wants to help his country. He's just passionate about his people, his country. He wants to make it a better place. Many people in the world also do a lot of things to make the world a better place, yes? So President Trump is one of them, just maybe more passionate than a lot of them, a lot of others. So because of that, he has to go through a lot of trouble, lose a lot of money, lose a lot of time, a lot of nerves, a lot of peace, a lot of family happiness with his wife, with his child, with other children. So even some of his children don't want to come out and help him to campaign because he probably told them not to come because it will just tear their nerves apart, especially if they have small children. They have to take care of small children. Mother and father have to be there strong and happy for the children. Cannot be threatened here and there all the time and come home, the nerves just tattered, But President Trump, he also has his moments of weariness, of being afraid, but he continues. A hero is not a person who is afraid of nothing, but a person who is scared, but continues to do his job. That is a real hero.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message, titled Exalted Womanhood, Part 12 of 20, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 13th, 2024.
For President Trump, I'm sure his heart is not for fame or gain. I'm sure. I can assure you that. I can see through. He just wants to help his country. He's just passionate about his people, his country. He wants to make it a better place. Many people in the world also do a lot of things to make the world a better place, yes? So President Trump is one of them. Just maybe more passionate than a lot of them, a lot of others. So because of that, he has to go through a lot of trouble. But President Trump, he also has his moments of weariness, of being afraid, but he continues. A hero is not a person who is afraid of nothing, but a person who is scared, but continues to do his job. That is a real hero. Only a mindless person, brainless person is not aware of the suffering of being shot, or not aware of the suffering, nerve breaking of going to court for the things that you did not do and being blamed wrongly. President Trump is smart, witty, alert. He cannot be not aware of all that, and he cannot like suffering at all. No, he suffers like all of you if you are him. If you're in his position, you suffer, you have pain also. But he continues because he has his noble goal. He wants to achieve his noble aim to make America great again.
We will achieve success that no one can imagine. We will have the strongest economy, the most secure borders, the safest cities, the most powerful military, the best trade deals. We will dominate the frontiers of science, medicine, business, technology, and space. And I'm asking you to be, for the first time in 4 years, to be excited about the future of our country again. Be excited. We're going to turn it around for you.
And if America is great again, it also positively affects other countries, affects the whole world also, because America is the biggest country, great in many qualities. So because of that, he has to do it. Because he cannot just say he loves his country, he wants to do that, to do this, but he doesn't have any title. It doesn't mean that he cares or he clings to the title of president, but he has to have that title in order to have many powers, many privileges, so that he can continue to do his work, to help his people and help the world. Similarly, God wants me to claim the title openly so that all the kings can come and pay homage to me and pledge their help. They do help me a lot nowadays, a lot. I don't ask a lot, but whatever I ask, they help. All for you. Congratulations. For them all, I too must have some responsibilities, must help them to be liberated. Kings of heavens will also die, being degraded in status, and go to the karma world to be judged accordingly. If they don't have a mentor, powerful mentor, to continue teaching and uplifting them, that's the loving gift from a Buddha and the King of Kings and the King of Dharma turning wheel also. So when President Trump became elected, I didn't write anything to congratulate him personally. I don't have to. I just signed relief, a big sign of relief. But we still have to keep an eye on him because many people want to harm him. In the name of God, I congratulate the Americans for having a good president who really cares for their welfare. And the world will also benefit a lot in many ways. And now I'm going to probably create a very big offense to some Buddhist monks. But please, if you can, please stay in one place and let people come make offerings to you. It's more comfortable for you and for them also to have a chance to see you. Because if many of you monks go out and beg on the street like that, not everybody can see you because they don't know where you're going next. So only some can see you. It could also endanger you. It could also give you an infection from the pandemic or any kind of virus nowadays. You stay in a temple and you eat normal vegan food. It's better for your body and your mind so that you can continue your practice to try to reach Buddhahood. It's better than kind of making it hard for your body like that. Eating once a day doesn't make you become a Buddha. I told you. Otherwise, many hungry people who die of hunger would become a Buddha. No. Or even hungry ghosts could be praised as a Buddha because they don't eat anything even. You can eat twice a day, okay? Maybe 3 times is too much, but twice a day is okay. Once in the morning and once before sunset. At the time of the Buddha, it was not convenient to stay in one place. And for people, it was also not convenient to go a long way to make offerings to you. But nowadays, it's easy. So please take care of your Buddha's body because you need it to reach Buddhahood. Even maybe not in this lifetime, but if you continue to practice this lifetime, you earn a lot of merit, and next lifetime continue. Then who knows, maybe in next lifetime you become Buddha. But you must take care of the body. Nowadays, there's a lot of sickness all over, and you never know when you might get it or got it. Because going outside is not easy to keep yourself clean. It's not like you can see water anywhere, anytime, all the time. And walking barefoot in some places is very good. But in other places, maybe not, because maybe there's some broken glass and you don't see well because you're distracted by some people who come to see you or make offerings to you, or some worms or some viruses or some bacteria on the ground, especially if that area just has been flooded. And all the dirty things or broken toilets will contaminate the ground that you walk on, and you will have sickness. Not only you harm your body, but you make the doctor and the nurses busy. And the people around in that area, when they have to deal with a lot of trouble due to natural man-made disasters or karma already, there will be many patients, many hungry people already. So you don't want to make an extra burden for them. And then if you go around and eat only once a day, people might even think that you are a Buddha or praise you, and that deducts your merit a lot. Even if you don't think you're a Buddha and you don't want to accept that title, people are desperate. They look for something, somebody that they think is holy enough to lean on, to praise, to get some merit from, for their refuge. But they themselves might not change too much, and their karma will be too overwhelming for you if you're not a Buddha. Even if you're a Buddha, it will overwhelm you with too many people who make offerings to you, praise you, and do not change their life. Even Buddha had karma from disciples. That's why one time for 3 months he had to eat horse feet. It says so in a Buddhist story. And because of that, he had assassination attempts quite a few times. Some are officially told, some are not. And even the karma of the world rubbed off on Anand. So that's why when the Buddha asked him, or told him that the Buddha could stay forever, and Anand didn't ask him, oh, then please stay. You see, the karma of the world shut him up. So he could not open his mouth, or maybe he didn't even hear anything, because the karma of the world is so heavy. It rubbed off on him, so he could not hear what the Buddha say. He could not understand what the Buddha meant or wanted him to say. So do not think that being a monk is enough to carry all this karma of the people who make offerings to you. And if they say you are Buddha and they spread it all over and they make you become a reluctant Buddha, then people will come and prostrate to you and give you offerings, this and that, and oh God, that won't do. That will be very bad for you. Maybe not immediately, but later on, or even whatever marriage you have, you will lose a lot. Or they will make your arrogance rise up to the sky and you will forget your real motive in the beginning. Also, that will make people be less respectful to other monks and nuns who stay in fixed temples and eat whatever the disciples offer to them. These monks, though they eat, I don't mean all the monks, of course there are bad monks, you know that. Some monks are very good, but their physical body needs to eat more than once a day. Also to eat so that they can take medicine or something. Even these monks, they carry the karma of disciples also because they take offerings from them. So they have to share their karma as well. That's why people come to see monks and priests and nuns and make offerings, hoping that they will have the merit from the monks and nuns so that their life becomes better. Most people ask only for material things, like their family becomes better, richer, their daughter marries a rich boy, or the boy meets a good wife, or makes better money, better business, etc. So all that you have to share, whatever merit you have, if you have any, you have to share all this collective karma. The more disciples, the more followers you have, the more karma you have to take. Unless you are Maya or Maya's family members, then you probably look like nothing happened to you, but that doesn't mean you are Buddha or you have a lot of merit. No, none. Anyone who contacts others for offerings or any benefit has to share that person's karma. And you never know what the followers are doing at home or in their heart, what do they think? Or how much bad karma they have in this lifetime or from the last lifetime that continues to flow over. All that you have to remember and bear it. So if you are monks, nuns, or priests, you have to truly, every day humbly thank God, thank the Buddhas for helping you, for forgiving you, for supporting you with their power.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message titled Exalted Womanhood, Part 13 of 20, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 13, 2024.
Anyone who contacts others for offerings or any benefit has to share that person's karma. And you never know what the followers are doing at home or in their heart, what do they think? Or how much bad karma they have in this lifetime or from the last lifetime that continues to flow over. All that you have to remember and bear it. So if you are monks, nuns, or priests, you have to truly, every day humbly thank God, thank the Buddhas for helping you, for forgiving you, for supporting you with their power. Otherwise, a human alone cannot digest all that. In Vietnam, there was a story told to me by my teacher nun when she was a refugee in Germany. I worked in one refugee camp in Alak, and there was one family, a Buddhist family of 2 monks and 2 nuns. The husband and the son were monks, and the daughter and the mother were nuns, yes, as the mother nun told me. They are the ones who witnessed my vow in front of them. They told me whatever I wished. If the incense never curls, rounds down, or falls down, if the incense ash doesn't fall, then my wish will come true. My wish was real and sincere. All the incense stood up, all burned, but none of the ash fell down. That's why after I went to the Himalayas and came back, and I wanted to repay her kindness because she taught me something about Buddhists, and encouraged my faith more in Buddhism. At that time, I had the Buddhist faith as well as Christian, so I wear a cross in front of my chest. One of the Caritas workers gave it to me, so I wear it. The Buddhist nuns didn't like that I wear the cross. They would like that I wear the Buddha statue instead. They would like to drag me into Buddhism instead of Christianity. I'm telling you, it's difficult in this world to follow one faith, because others would like to drag you into their other faith, because they think Buddhism is better and the other one thinks Christianity is better, etc. They could fight forever, verbally at least. But in my family, my father is Christian, my grandma and mother is Buddhist, so what am I to do? I was born and raised up in both traditions. And my vow at that time in front of my four monastic reverends was that I think my life, I said to the Buddhas in heaven, my life is not too bad as a human. I know human's life is bad, but mine is not too bad. So please, if I have any merit, please transfer it to the worst souls possible, but don't let me know it. And that's how all the incense stood up. And at that time, I did not tell the monks and the nuns, but I think I can tell now. I did. And why not? Just a moment, I asked whether or not it was wrong to tell. No, it's already happening. I'm already very old, and for many decades, I already been doing that. So I never know if I die tomorrow. Working so hard and running a lot, so never mind. Otherwise, you would have it in your mind all the time. What did she say? What did she vow? Why did the incense stand all straight and nothing from their ashes fell down like that? What did she say? And it will make your mind too busy. So that's really happened in my life. Since then, it has happened all the time. But it did happen already before without me knowing it. Just like I was already born a Buddha, but I was not allowed to know when I became older. I had to go and get it back again. And after I knew it, I didn't dare to say anything anymore. Because I can see that all the masters tell people that they are masters from God and the Buddha and all that, and they all get very terrible lives, and not many people believe them anyway. Even just to be a normal master, even Supreme Master, I already got beaten everywhere, not to talk about being Maitreya Buddha or Christ, the one and only for this period of time that could help the world, Of course, people would not believe it. If they look at me, they say, what? She's just a small woman. How can she be a Buddha? A woman cannot be Buddha. Huh? What if I am already a Buddha? Yes, I can do many things. I can become a woman or man, according to what benefits humans the most, yeah? So even if you don't believe that I'm a Buddha, please don't say anything bad about me. Otherwise, I cannot help you, okay? I'm not trying to threaten you. I swear to God, to the Buddhas, that I told you the truth. Or I will be punished, like I will lose my existence forever. All right, what else do I want to tell you? One moment, I think about it. Oh yes, I forgot that I wanted to talk about the Lotus Sutra, in which Manjushri told a questioner that he went to the ocean kingdom, and one of the spirits, a water spirit, a dragon's daughter of the dragon king, mostly the king dragon ruled the water. So a dragon's daughter has attained enlightenment. She is an arhat, worthy of worship. She was only 8 years old. After all the others doubted her, she proved it. But these people, the ones who questioned her and questioned Manjushri, they're also on the higher level already, not as high as Arhat or Buddha, but they probably on one without return. Never have to come back to human life again if they don't want to. They are high already. So when she proved it, they could see her when she manifested herself in other countries, other areas, other realms, and reveal her own identity as a very enlightened being, teaching other beings, teaching sentient beings in far away lands.
Ngài Văn Thù Sư Lợi nói, có con gái của vua rồng Ta Kiệt La mới 8 tuổi mà căn tánh lanh lẹ, có trí huệ, khéo biết các căn tánh hành nghiệp của chúng sanh, được pháp tổng trì, các tạng pháp kín rất sâu của các Phật nói đều có thể thọ trì, sâu vào thiền định, rõ thấu các pháp. Trong khoảnh sát na phát tâm Bồ đề được bậc bất thối chuyển, biện tài vô ngại, thương nhớ chúng sanh như con đỏ, công đức đầy đủ, lòng nghĩ miệng nói pháp nhiệm màu rộng lớn, từ bi nhân đức khiêm nhường, ý chí hòa nhã, nàng ấy có thể đến Bồ đề. Trí Tích Bồ Tát nói rằng, tôi thấy Đức Thích Ca Như Lai ở trong vô lượng kiếp làm những hành khổ khó làm, chứa nhiều công đức để cầu đạo Bồ đề, chưa từng có lúc thôi dứt. Ta xem trong cõi tam thiên đại thiên dẫn đến không có chỗ nhỏ bằng hạt cải, mà không phải là chỗ của Bồ Tát bỏ thân mạng để vì lợi ích chúng sanh, vậy sau mới được thành đạo Bồ đề. Chẳng tin long nữ đó ở trong khoảng giây lát chứng thành bậc chánh giác. Nói luận chưa xong, lúc đó con gái của Long Vương bỗng hiện ra nơi trước đầu mặt, lễ kính Phật, rồi đứng một phía nói kệ khen rằng: thấu rõ tướng tội phước, khắp soi cả 10 phương, pháp thân tịnh vi diệu, đủ 32 tướng, dùng 80 món tốt để trang nghiêm pháp thân, trời người đều kính ngưỡng, long thần thảy cung kính, tất cả loài chúng sanh không ai chẳng tôn phụng, lại nghe thành Bồ đề, chỉ Phật nên chứng biết, tôi nói pháp đại thừa, độ thoát khổ chúng sanh. Bấy giờ Ngài Xá Lợi Phất nói với long nữ rằng: ngươi nói không bao lâu chứng được đạo vô thượng, việc đó khó tin. Vì sao? Vì thân gái nhơ uế chẳng phải là pháp khí, thế nào có thể được thành vô thượng chánh giác? Đạo Phật xa rộng, phải trải qua vô lượng kiếp cần khổ chứa nhóm công hạnh, tu đủ các độ, vậy sau mới thành được. Lại thân gái còn có 5 điều chướng. 1. Chẳng được làm Phạm Thiên Vương. 2. Chẳng được làm Đế Thích. 3. Chẳng được làm Ma Vương. 4. Chẳng được làm Chuyển Luân Thánh Vương. 5. Chẳng được làm Phật. Thế nào thân gái được mau thành Phật? Lúc đó, long nữ có một hộp châu báu giá trị bằng cõi tam thiên đại thiên đem dâng Đức Phật. Phật liền nhận lấy. Long nữ nói với Trí Tích Bồ Tát cùng tôn giả Xá Lợi Phất rằng: tôi hiến châu báu, Đức Thế Tôn nạp thọ, việc đó có mau chăng? Đáp: rất mau. Long nữ nói: lấy sức thần của các ông xem tôi thành Phật lại mau hơn việc đó. Đang lúc đó, cả chúng hội đều thấy long nữ thoạt nhiên biến thành nam tử. Đủ hạnh Bồ Tát liền qua cõi vô cấu ở phương Nam, ngồi tòa sen báu, thành bậc chánh đẳng chánh giác, đủ 32 tướng, 80 món đẹp, khắp vì tất cả chúng sanh trong 10 phương mà diễn nói pháp màu. Khi ấy, trong cõi Ta Bà, hàng Bồ Tát, Thanh Văn, trời, rồng, bát bộ, nhân cùng phi nhân đều xa thấy long nữ kia thành Phật, khắp vì hàng nhân, thiên trong hội đó mà nói pháp, sanh lòng vui mừng đều xa kính lạy. Vô lượng chúng sanh nghe Pháp tỏ ngộ được bậc bất thối chuyển. Vô lượng chúng sanh được lãnh lời thọ ký thành Phật. Cõi vô cấu, 6 điều vang động. Cõi Ta Bà, 3.000 chúng sanh phát lòng Bồ Đề mà được lãnh lời thọ ký. Trí Tích Bồ Tát và Ngài Xá Lợi Phất, tất cả trong chúng hội yên lặng mà tin nhận đó. Kinh Pháp Hoa, phẩm 12.
So they bowed and they paid respect to her from afar and believed her. Even Manjusri told them they didn't believe it because she's a woman. How can she become enlightened and arhat if she's a woman? Even Manjusri told them they did not believe Manjusri. Can you believe that? Manjusri Bodhisattva was the number one wisdom arhat in Buddha's circle at that time. But some monks and nuns can see the future. They can see me as well. That's why when I came back after the Himalayas, I repay her kindness by transferring this Kuan Yin method to her and the daughter, only the two of them. And they believe me very much and still call me master nowadays when I offer something to pay for their temple. Yes. They said thank master and all that. I was not there. I just sent people to offer it. I offer to some temples. I don't want to say how many and where. And when we first met, she also taught me things. At least she gave me one sutra in Germany. At that time, I didn't know where to get some sutra, so she gave me one. I remember that. Whatever I read, it was before a long time ago in Vietnam, you know. In Germany, you can't find Vietnamese Buddhist sutra, very difficult. And she believed in me very much, she still does. And she did tell me what she knew about Buddhism at that time. At that time, I was still running around the planet and didn't go to find enlightenment anywhere yet. But those who say that I took refuge, but she's very humble. She didn't accept me as her follower or disciple because you take refuge in a monk or a nun, and then you make an offering to them and all that. She did not accept that. She took me to the other monk who has a temple. She didn't have any temple, and she thought she's a woman, and she's not fully the bhikkhuni. She didn't take 250 precepts at that time to become a real bhikkhuni, meaning not a full nun, you know. So she took me to fully equipped full monks to take refuge in. And it was nothing really. They just maybe take your red envelope with some offering money in it, and they just tell you, okay, and now you are the disciple of Buddha, Sangha, and the Dharma. That's it. And they taught me nothing. The so-called two monks, big monks with temples, they didn't teach me anything at all. Not more than the nun that taught me and gave me a sutra even. And then when I went to learn somewhere else, they blame me for being a heretic or whatever. They didn't teach me anything. They should have taught me how not to be heretic then, if I am heretic. But never mind, humans, monks, nuns, they are humans also. They are not saints yet. That's why. Buddhas are different. Buddha was born as human, but he wasn't a human. He said he has been a Buddha since forever already. Just this time he came back after the full circle of work service in the human world. That's what it is. So this was the last time. He went the full circle already from Buddha to become a Buddha again. That's it. But he has been Buddha since forever before. Eons, countless of periods of many earths, many heavens, destroy, rebuild. He's been Buddha a long time already. So long you can never count. That's called many eons of time. The same with Maitreya Buddha and many other Buddhas. Yes. It is possible for a human to become a Buddha, of course also.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message titled Exalted Womanhood, Part 14 of 20, on between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 13th, 2024.
He has been Buddha since forever before. Eons, countless of periods of many earths, many heavens. Destroy, rebuild, he's been Buddha a long time already. So long you can never count. That's called many eons of time. The same with Maitreya Buddha and many other Buddhas. It is possible for a human to become a Buddha, of course, also. And you see, just like the monk Guangqing, he came down for 600 years before his last lifetime on earth from Amitabha Buddha's land. And his teacher was still in the Amitabha Buddha's land, but he came down to the human existence for 600 years, probably because he wanted to help some people in the world, humans who, if he doesn't, they will probably fall into hell or some very lowly existence. And even then, during the 600 years, he did many bad deeds. So he even became exiled into the animal kingdom, becoming an animal person. He himself told people that, and it's written in his book. So it's not like you are Buddha and you come down to the world, into the human world, and you just retain the status of the Buddha, and then everybody will see you as a Buddha and worship you and make offerings to you and recognize and accept that you are Buddha. It's not like that. Even when the Buddha came the last time of his cycle as Buddha again, people still wanted to kill him, even his own cousin, who was a monk also, who was his disciple, who was Buddha's disciple, wanted to kill him many times and degraded him, slandered him, and did all kinds of things. So you can never be too secure that, okay, I'm a monk, I'm a priest, I'm a nun, I recite Buddha's name every day, and I eat vegan, and I recite the sutra every day, I meditate on breathing technique, or reciting Buddha's technique, whatever, then I will go to Buddha's land. Not necessarily. Please, unless you are already a Buddha, it's very difficult to free yourself from this world once you are in it. So be very diligent. Monks and nuns, I tell you all this with all my love and respect for your ideal. Before you started your monkhood, you have ideals. You want to be a holy person, follow the Buddha, and do this and that to help other beings. But meanwhile, some of you may be led astray by the difficult situation in the world, or political situation, or too many followers, praise you and blow you up into the sky, and you fell in some way. But you can always return to your original noble ideal and become a good monk. Just remember, go inside, always check yourself, criticize yourself, no one else. Least of all me, okay? You have very bad karma if you do that. I'm not afraid of you. I don't need your praise or worship or acceptance even. I don't need it. I need nothing in this world. Just I'm afraid for you only, okay? We talk again about going out for alms. If you already know your way and the villagers already know you and they want to make offerings to you, it's a short distance and you go back to your temple, then it's also agreeable. It's maybe okay if you like it that way and if you can afford it, and if that does not make any trouble for other monks. Because if you're doing that, And if the majority of your country or your area are Mahayana monks, meaning they just eat vegan, or maximum vegetarian, meaning they eat eggs, drink milk, and eat cheese and all that, then other people or some fanatics will kind of glorify you and put you up on the pedestal so that you could never step back down again. They will make you become like a living Buddha and spread it all over on the net and oppress anyone who doesn't believe that you are a Buddha, even though you are not a Buddha yet. And you can't tell them. But slowly you might think that there's no harm, and then you feel proud that people trust you. And anywhere you go, people give you offerings and all that. Then some faithful, some fanatics will look down upon other monks who eat 2-3 times a day and live in a temple. But they also do no harm. They also recite the Buddha's names every day. They recite the sutras and they take care of their faithful. When the faithful are sick, they come to them. When they have trouble, they come to them, etc. So they're also doing work and they keep the temple clean for the faithful to come to meditate and to retreat and to take refuge when they have free time or when they're in trouble or need a place to rest for some time, for some days, or even make a sample so that other people will become monks and nuns and continue to keep the Buddhist noble holy tradition. See, they also do their work. And when people are sick, they come and pray for them, reciting the sutras for them, and when they die or their relatives die, they come and pray for them. They're also doing something. And even if they're doing work like that and they earn only 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day with a few monks' robes on their body, then they're not doing too bad. Because humans always do need somebody to lean on, to tell their problems, and to help them pray for themselves before they die or when they're sick or when their relatives and loved ones die. They need all that comfort. And they need also to be reminded that they should do good, be vegan, do good, and help others. The monks will remind them to do that. So it's not like they are eating just because of an empty stomach. They also do something to help society, psychologically, mentally, and physically also. So it's not like they are worse than you or anything, but some people who do not understand deeply like that, thinking the monks who eat 2-3 meals a day and become a little chubby or don't go around begging, then the bad monk is not like that. No. To eat or not to eat, that doesn't decide your Buddhahood. And the worst is that if people praise you up to the sky when you're not worth it, then your marriage will be all gone. And either you will leave monkhood soon, being charmed by a woman or a man, or being so sick, or any other thing can happen to you. If you are a Maya relative, then you probably don't have to worry about that, because you're not doing it for the Buddha, for the people. You're doing it to destroy Buddhism. That happened also because Mara said to the Buddha and made Buddha cry that in the Dharma ending age, like our time now, he will come and even defecate into Buddha's bowl and destroy Buddhism by sending his children out to become monks and preach against the Buddha, against the real Buddhism.
When Shakyamuni Buddha was about to enter Nirvana, he summoned the Demon King and commanded him, "You should abide by the rules. Follow the rules from now on. Don't violate them." The Demon King replied, "So you want me to follow your rules? Fine. During the ending age of your Dharma, I will wear your garments, eat your food, and defecate in your alms bowl." His meaning was that he would destroy the Dharma from within. When the Buddha heard that, he was worried. He wept and said, "There's really nothing I can do about you. Your method is the most poisonous, the most destructive." A commentary by the venerated Master Suan Hua, vegetarian, of the Thinking Sutra, or the Shurangama Sutra.
So it could happen. The main point is that you should not be the cause for the separation between monks, between nuns and nuns. like you are better than them. That will give you also very bad karma. In the Buddha's time, it was difficult to have a temple and stay in one place to have offerings. But nowadays, it's very easy. You have the internet, you can preach online even. And staying in a temple is safer for you. You have to take care of your body because it's a temple of the Buddha. Because the Buddha nature is inside you. God dwells within you, according to Christianity. God, Buddha nature, same stuff. If you enlighten well, you will understand that clearly, as if you see the sun in front of you. If you're not enlightened well, then you still think Buddhism is better than Christianity. And some people still slander Christ and slander Buddha because they are not in their religion. But that's because they're ignorant. But you are monks and nuns and priests, you should at least have some enlightenment. Low enlightenment maybe. But it's your capital. You have to continue to invest with it, with your time, your sincerity, your pure devotion. Then you become more and more enlightened all the time. Praise to the Buddha who helps you. Praise to God who sustains you, supports you, and helps you. Even monks have their own destiny, like what they have to do. So that's why some monks cannot be a real monk, or they will stop after a while because it's not their destiny, even though they really want to be a monk. But in Thailand, they have temporary monks. That's also very suitable, very good for that. Some people want to be a monk for 1 week for the marriage for some of their family members, or to become a monk for 1 month or 2 months, 3 months, or a year, etc. Then you don't have to be a monk for all your life. People do that in Thailand. Many of them do that. And now, if you choose the path of taking alms while you are walking, that's a different kind of monk, the Hinayana they call it, or they call it the early Buddhist monk style. But as I said before, I don't really want to offend anyone. I'm just saying what I know, okay? What I know might not be what you think you know or what you think is correct. But I just tell you the truth, nothing more. Yeah, it's up to you, huh? I often also make offerings to monks. I do not discriminate between the animal people, meat-eating monk, priest, or non-meat-eating priest or monk. But for you, yourself, if you go out begging for alms, you should, if you stay nearby your city or nearby your village, then people already know what time you come out, what time you go with your bowl for alms. Then they would line the street and give to you. Each one gives different. And then you go home and probably eat together or just eat whatever is in your bowl. It depends, huh? Maybe it depends on tradition, but mostly eat whatever's given in your own bowl. That's it. Now, if you know people already very well, you could tell them, please give only vegan. Because as a monk, you have compassion. You see, that's why you want to become a monk.
We now invite you to watch the next part of Supreme Master Ching Hai's message titled Exalted Womanhood, Part 15 of 20 on Between Master and Disciples, given in English on November 13th, 2024.
I often also make offerings to monks. I do not discriminate between the animal people, meat-eating monk, priest, or non-meat eating priest or monk. Maybe it depends on tradition, but mostly eat whatever's given in your own bowl. That's it. Now, if you know people already very well, you could tell them, please give only vegan, because as a monk, you have compassion. That's why you want to become a monk. You want to be a Buddha so that you can help others lessen their suffering. Eating meat causes a lot of suffering for the animal people. Your own body also, you might have sickness because of that. And it's also very harmful for the planet because the methane that is produced unwittingly or wittingly out of animal people rising will warm the planet. And that's why we have climate change now. And that's why we have so many terrible disasters coming, like terrible floods, terrible typhoons, terrible storms, extra more than usual, and not at the expected time. If you like that type of a life and you already been doing this for a long time and you can't change, then maybe that is your destiny to do it. But please choose vegan so that the animal people don't have to suffer for you, even though you don't hear their cry. You don't see them being murdered, but you know where the animal people meat comes from. Do not be too busy to remember this or to study about that. You can look on the internet and films to see how the animal people are tortured all the days of their lives in small little crates that they could not even move in, not to talk about turn around. You can look on our Supreme Master television. We show that sometimes. To my heartache, we have to. In reality, it's even worse than what we see. It's just a little bit, a glimpse on the screen. Because it's a day in, day out for them. It's not just a few seconds flitting on the screen, but it's day in, day out, all the days of their lives. And they suffer so much, so much, so much. And they are deep in their urine and feces. And how can you even eat that? Eat the suffering and the filth as well. You are a monk, you are a noble being. You aim high. You aim to be a Buddha, the top of all creation. And you eat this filth, and you eat this kind of meat, which causes suffering, untold suffering to all living sentient beings. And you're supposed to deliver them. You're supposed to help them minimize suffering. But eating animal people, meat, will leave you out in the cold. No, I mean in the heat of hell. Excuse me, Your Reverence. I told the truth. I swear to Buddha, I told you the truth. And yeah, I guess you know that. Karma, you know the law of karma. What you sow, so shall you reap. The same in Christianity, the same in other religions. And if you have a chance to go to hell, you will know what I'm talking about. I hope you don't have a chance to go there. Not for suffering. Not to go there to be judged and get the punishment, horrible punishment, but just to visit, if you have enough merit for that. Only people with a pure heart and merit can go to visit hell. Otherwise, the moment you go there, you're doomed, you're finished. You'll be in pain forever. Even just for a few days seems to be forever already, not to talk about there is some forever hell. I'm not saying you definitely have to stop begging, because maybe your country continues that kind of lifestyle, so you have to do it with them. But you have to tell the donor, the offerer, to give you vegan food only, and later they will all know that, and they will give it to you. Rather die of hunger than commit the killing karma, because it will come back to you 10,000-fold or more than that. Depends on how long you live, how much you eat, how many animal people you bury in your stomach like a graveyard. Now maybe it is your destiny to go out begging for food. And I don't blame you, nobody blames you, because we all have our destiny, even as monks. We have our karma, we have our destiny already prepared. And you can't change it unless you become enlightened and truly get out of the cycle of birth and death. There is a monk who is king of beggars. He's a kind of a beggar king, just like many other kings, just a different kind of kinghood. He's a beggar king, but he became a monk in the physical life, and he also goes out begging every day. He goes everywhere, not just inside his village or his hometown. So he can't even change that. Maybe if he prays a lot, then he can change. He can settle down somewhere and let people who follow him, who respect him, come and make offerings to him. It's safer for him and more convenient for people to come and visit. But if you are kind of a beggar king of beggars, and then you become a monk, and you go begging for alms, then it's your destiny. But if people mistake your destiny for Buddhahood and crown you as Buddha, then it's no good for you at all. There are many worlds, not just our world. You know that. The world of demons, world of zealous ghosts, world of all kinds. And there is also a world called punishing world. Many dog people are in this world. Many dog people are officials or kings of this world. And the dog people will judge people from their world, who is good, who is bad. They make some judgments, not all the judgments, of course, but according to their power and their position, they can judge humans as well. So, woe to whomever it's dog people. Smith, oh my God, they don't know what's waiting for them. This is one of the worlds. I know that. But, of course, not every human knows this world. So they also are helping, they also have a duty to judge humans according to their merit or their sin. And definitely, if you are not friends with dog people, or if you abuse a dog person, or if you eat dog people, oh God, oh God help you. And there are many other words, like the karma word, the war word, the peace word. Each word has a king. And there's another word called crowning word. And that crowning word also has a king. And one monk is supposed to be the beggar king, but also in the physical life, he's a begging monk. And if people, the followers of that religion, maybe Buddhism, for example, if the people, the followers, the faithful of Buddhism, mistake his begging asceticism for high enlightenment or even Buddha attainment, and if that beggar monk does not correct that, and even inside his heart feels proud, feels happy, feels good, because people worship him and offer him things, praise him and treat him like a Buddha, and he's happy with all that, then he will be in trouble, because the crowning world will not like that. They will not accept that. This is the thing that many monks do not understand. And because if the karma, the destiny of that monk has not finished, and people already say he's a Buddha and all that by mistake, or just by too much belief in the teachings of the Buddha, and too longing, too thirsty to see some holiness in some monk. But they should know that holiness doesn't mean asceticism. Asceticism may help a little. It depends also. So now if that beggar monk, the monk for alms, destiny has not finished being the king of beggars, and he has already jumped around or accepted people calling him a Buddha or treating him like a Buddha, and inside he's happy to be worshipped, adored, and offered like that, then the crowning world will not be happy. They might make a lot of trouble or obstruct him in becoming a Buddha later, even if he aspires to, because each one in our world has a duty to do something. And if you don't do it, then you have to do it again until you do it perfectly, the way you should do it. Everyone, not just the begging monk or the beggar king who became a monk, because like that, he's misleading people and pointing to people the wrong direction, worshiping the wrong person, the wrong being, who has not been worthy of worship, and who has not done his kingship perfectly as a king of beggars. Actually, it's like that. There are many kings in the whole universe. Each one does different things, takes care of different work. So the king of beggars cannot do much more than just go begging, so he also cannot help himself. But he could also stop and beg in one place. And meanwhile, also inside, he has to take care of the beggars. He might not even know it if he's not enlightened enough. Then he doesn't know who he is and what he's doing subconsciously while he is on the planet as a human, in a human form. He has to take care of all the beggars. So when they're in trouble, he has to go there and comfort them or help them when he can. But if he enjoys being placed on a pedestal and being called a Buddha and doesn't want to go down from there, or he's too comfortable to stay there, then his merit will be deducted a lot. And if he cannot complete his work in this lifetime as a king of beggars, he doesn't do well because he doesn't concentrate on that. Just concentrates on being worshipped and adored and receiving offers and being prostrated to and all that. Then he cannot have enough time and concentration to help the beggars and to fulfill his duty as the king of beggars. The next lifetime, if he's lucky, he has to continue to be the king of beggars again until he does it perfectly. Or he has to become just a normal beggar, stripped of his crown, of his position. It depends on how much he neglects his job.